some, get some, bad enough, take some.
Hello, welcome to episode 44 of FANGIN and Bang with Gangrel and Anna Blanca, ABD over there, right? I got it right today, ABD. ABD, and you know me, ABD. Easy as 1, 2, 3. Never mind, you don't know that song.
I've heard that song before.
Oh,
yeah.
come on now. Oh, wow. Ooh. Now you're going to go into all my Michael Jackson stuff. But, boom, 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 boom. So, I hope everybody had a tremendous WrestleMania weekend. And it's Tuesday here. So, we're 2 days after, going into the second day after the second WrestleMania. So, there was a stupendous 2-day WrestleMania. I was out there, but I came home Saturday morning. I flew out Thursday and did MLW Thursday and Friday. I was very busy with that. That went well, I suppose, in the terms of TV tapings and stuff like that. So they'll come on up. MLW, lots going on there. Did the Fusion show and then the Aztec Underground show. So, guess you can watch and check that out on MLW. I don't know, Coastal Championship Wrestling, how many shows this weekend?
This weekend? I don't believe so.
No, so no CCW shows this weekend, are you sure?
Well, this weekend, not
No.
last weekend.
Well, of course, they got one this weekend. They got the Bash of the Brew or something like that.
Yeah, and then they have May 9th, Homestead.
May 9th, Homestead. That's May. We're still in April, though. Okay, but they got a lot
I
more.
mean, April, sorry.
Oh.
April 9th, Homestead.
Oh, okay. All right. April.
I'm mixing up my dates.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, they always got a show almost every weekend, pretty much. You can guarantee there's a CCW show going on. And I believe they started a new something called CCW Insider. They wanted me to do it from here, but I saved Raymond the headache because last time I did an interview from here, Raymond messed up our audio. Right, the audio, and he blamed me. Oh, it's because I was doing your interview. So that was that time. And then apparently the show, he's been dropping them on Wednesday nights, which seems to be a good night to drop the shows and everything. But because he had Sparkles in here, he had audio difficulties there. You know whose audio worked?
Jordan's.
Sparkles. Yes, you know whose audio didn't work? Ours. So no skin off our nose. I guess it took Raymond an extra 4 or 5 days to cipher the sound or something to get it up, pull it off the cameras. I think he had to pull the sound off the cameras and then blend everything in. Whatever it was a pain in the ass for Raymond. But hell, Raymond's the one that had Sparkles come in, so I don't feel
probably
too bad
why
for
he's
him.
not here today. No more sound.
If Sparkles probably would have been here today, I probably would have stabbed him in the kidney.
Yeah. Which he didn't do, so
which I did not.
Don't record
if he would have been here today, he's not here, right? But I got more heat. He pops up again, and people go, "Why would you ever have that guy back on a show?" I go, "I didn't. That was Raymond's call." Yeah. So it's on Raymond, but we're not gonna go into that. So CCW, no shows. Yeah, you sure they didn't have a show this weekend? They always have a show.
Not that.
No, I believe they didn't because they were out in Dallas. They were out there doing some promotions and stuff like that for their TVs coming up. So no, you're right. They did not have a show. So I got home in time and I actually watched both WrestleManias. But Saturday night's WrestleMania, I have to confess, I had to watch it in 2 parts. So I watched the most of it, and then I'm trying to remember. I think I went to sleep on the Charlotte Flair Ronda Rousey match. I had to go to bed. I couldn't handle it anymore. I went to bed and I got up in the morning and watched the last half of it, which was I believe, what was it with
Kevin Owens? Right?
Yeah, Stone Cold, Kevin Owens, and stuff like that. Which I thought was to basic Stone Cold, right in his wheelhouse, looked good. We're all over a building. Bump on the floor, bump on the ring, all that. Get in, boom, drink beer, stunner the hell out of everybody, and close the show out, which was very, very good. I liked it. I enjoyed it. Took me back to my Attitude Era time, and sitting in there while he was drinking beers in the ring, I was sneaking out in the parking lot while he was entertaining fans. So he'd go, and while he's doing all that and drinking the beers and everything, everybody would be loading in their cars and hurrying up and getting out before all the traffic,
Smart.
Yeah. It's cool, sort of, it was sort of designed in that sense, I believe, close the show out. A lot of times you wouldn't even see that stuff on camera, but just to hold the house people in. Like, a lot of the other talent could get out of their cars and get towards the next town or their hotel room or whatever before all the fans got out and stuff like that. Not against the fans, but when you're gridlocked in a parking lot after being there people don't realize TVs, you got like a 1 o'clock call time. So you're there 1 in the afternoon. The fans show up 6, 7, 8, whatever, roll in. But you're there all day. So you're ready to get out of there, and time is money because you don't have much of it. And, and you still like when we're in Texas, I know when I traveled with Edgy Christian, we would do a TV, and then because they would want to sleep in a little bit more, we would actually drive wherever we were and hit a 24-hour fitness in the middle of the night. So we would do the TV. So while your adrenaline was still pumped from doing TV and you're still feeling that high, you'd run right in the gym. So instead of them going out drinking and partying and wasting their life like most wrestlers, those guys would go to the gym. And ride their high out in the gym. So from wrestling, they would go in the gym. Phone's busy today. So they would go to the gym and work it off, and then we get to the next. They would have something to eat, get to the next town, and get to sleep in a little bit. They know the gym was done. Sometimes they'd still go to the gym before TV. They were the machines. And speaking of Edge, there you go. I'm not going to say I said it. I told you so, but it's not that. I wasn't telling people. I just said that's what I would do if I was writing, and that was my dream team thing. Like to see him build another faction group or a type of brood. And I said I would like to see him do it with Damian Priest, and boom, there it is. They
are now a team.
They're there. They came out on Raw to seal it in. It was good. Very happy to see that. Very excited. Sorry if I seem like I'm low energy today. I don't want to say I'm a little under the weather, but I'm definitely dragging ass. And it's not from partying. Could be from watching all that WrestleMania and trying to watch all this wrestling over the weekend. I don't know. I didn't even finish it through Raw. I was late getting here today or picking you up because I was trying to watch Raw. But so much wrestling has happened in my brain. It's hard to digest. So we can start with, I don't have a rundown list, but we can start with did you do anything before we get going? Did you do anything exciting over the weekend? I didn't see. I saw you on the weekend, but I was gone since Thursday, so I don't know.
Over the weekend, I actually had the epilepsy walk, but the one in Miami, which went really well. For me, it was super, super fun.
Where's your belt? You didn't bring it in?
I didn't.
Oh, it's kind of cool and special. You didn't bring it in?
No, I didn't. I didn't think to bring it in, but it is cool.
Can you explain what it was?
So one of the hosts and one of the main personnel at Epilepsy Florida knows that I wrestle and knows that I'm into this whole world. And for one of the awards as the best fundraising individual statewide, she handed me a championship belt, which was very thoughtful, and it was really, really cool.
For championship belt for
being the best fundraiser. Statewide.
Statewide, okay. I guess I didn't hear that. My phone's blowing up over here. I don't know if I need to be checking it because it never goes off this time in the morning that much. Yeah, it's a very cool belt, wrestling. So, last week you raised the largest amount in Broward County.
Yep.
So this week in Dade County, you were also the largest money raiser, whatever.
Yeah.
So two counties, Broward and Dade champion.
Two counties.
Champion of raising money. Can you figure out how to raise some money for this podcast?
I can give it a shot.
Your cause is much better than me coming on here and talking wrestling. I don't even know how I come in here every Tuesday. I think now it's just become a habit. I'm not even sure if people are listening or not. But congratulations on being a top fundraiser. But congratulations at all, just raising money, having being part of a successful event, and doing things. And you also have your own. Fun, you did it under your band, the WWOFL, right?
Yeah.
We Will Overcome Florida, and you've done a lot of things, and you're looking to put another wrestling show on this year too to raise awareness for epilepsy.
Absolutely, yeah. Every year in November, Epilepsy Awareness Month.
Yeah.
I want to do another fundraiser for Epilepsy Florida. They do way too much and people like me, we absolutely appreciate it.
Okay, so you can go wwofl.com, or was that? You can go, you can donate there and money for epilepsy awareness. But also before I get going on, I overlooked the fact that I want to send some well wishes, and I've also shared the link on my Facebook page and stuff. I think it might be called Kick Out Jeff, but if you go on there, Buddha Dean, he's the Snake Master. Some of you may know him in Florida. Buddha Dean from Florida Championship Wrestling. He'd come out with Kevin Sullivan and the Snakes, but very much a Florida iconic wrestler. He's had some serious health issues. He's still in the hospital. He was like in intensive care. He was on a ventilator, off the ventilator, back on and off. Seems to be doing a little bit better now, but you can go out there and check it out. What does it say? It says Kick Out Snake Master. Is that what it is? Oh, gosh, Raymond. So you can go on there. It looks like they got a goal of 7,000. They raised 4,000, so they're over halfway there. But it's called Kick Out Snake Master. He's been really going through it. Yeah, it's not a good picture. I don't like to see anybody on ventilators and stuff like that. But not his fault at all. But Nisi and Logan, prayers and go out to them and as they support him and get through that. They just had a run of just crap luck, and but that was luck. But then health. I got health issues, so I'm gonna send thoughts and prayers out to him. Boom. All right, cover that. So back to WrestleMania. Boom, boom, bada bing, bada boom. Now I don't have the run list. I'm gonna suspect Raymond's gonna pull it up, but let's start with Saturday night. What was the first match out of WrestleMania? They canceled the match, I believe. They took a match out.
First match, was it a tag? Mm-hmm. Was it one of the tags?
So much wrestling, I'm having a hard time remembering. All right, now I got a run list. I'm sorry, I was having a brain fart or a meltdown. There's way too much wrestling for this Vampires hot spotted, chair shotted, drug abused brain from the past to retain without actually looking at it to bring back my memories. So we're going to go WrestleMania 38, night one results, night one. So we started out the gate with the Usos versus Nakamura and Boogs, as Jordan so put it. Boogs.
Boogs.
Yeah. I don't know where that match was supposed to go. I got a little lost because I believe Rick Boogs injured his knee or quadricep or something. So something tore when he went to go do the double where you got one guy on his shoulders and the other guy comes up and you have two guys on his shoulder. I believe his knee came out. I believe it was a legitimate injury. And but it was a good match up to that point, and they still figured it out and finished. I'm not sure exactly how they finished. And you got Drew McIntyre versus Happy Corbin. Not the Mad Hatter that I always mix up, but Happy Corbin, who had been undefeated, right? I believe since
Happy Corbin,
since he won his gambling money at Vegas, right? Because remember he was really depressed and he had bad hair, and he had beard and he was had mustard on his shirt and not this show, but then he went to. I don't know, Vegas. So what I did here, this is what I learned about WrestleMania. You don't gotta watch wrestling. Just watch WrestleMania. You'll get in 4 or 5 hours in one night. You'll pick up what you missed all year. You just watch the highlight video reels that freaking run time over because their masters is getting the story across. That you can comprehend that match if you never watched wrestling all year and you said, "All right, I'm gonna watch WrestleMania." You'll understand that storyline going into that match with the video packages. They are masters of storytelling that way, overtelling.
Very true.
So it starts making me think, if I didn't have a podcast, I would just watch WrestleMania. I watch WrestleMania. The video packages will explain it all to me.
They'll catch you up.
Because I didn't know much about the Happy Corbin. I would mix it up, Mad Hatter or whatever the other guy's name was. But that match was good. Wasn't bad. I don't know. I don't remember being super overly excited about it. I remember
it didn't really stand out to you.
Well, it did stand out in the fact that I went oh man, Drew McIntyre. It's McIntyre, right? I usually say his other name, Galloway. Drew. He got his sword out and he beat Corbin and all that, and then the other dude was coming up and he goes to hit him with the sword and he cuts the ring ropes. So the ring, like, basically ropes collapse. And I didn't think, like, oh, that's amazing. I went, oh, crap, it's going to take even longer. I have more video packages to get to the next segment. Like that's what I was thinking in my head. But it was good. It was a good match, above average, I believe. Then you had the Mysterios versus Miz and Logan Paul. Now, we'll say this about Logan Paul. This is a lot of people may take offense to this. Besides the greenness of not being a wrestler, like he was better than 80% of the independent wrestlers out there. Like he might be better than 90% of the indie shows I'm on, and I'm not counting like MLW and stuff like that. I'm not calling them independent shows. Those are Ring of Honor or anything like that. I'm just talking about those regular shows I'm out there on weekends. He's heads above them. Like, yeah, it's he looked like an athlete. Yeah. He looked great. He went out there. His charisma was good. And I lost my notes there. Well, I didn't lose my note. Jesus, I'm having a day. I gotta go back and pull this up again. But he looked like an athlete. He looked great. He looked great. 3B goes, his frog splash just looked just as good as, like, I don't know, especially for a really tall guy. It was a good frog splash. So, I feel bad for Rey Mysterio and Dominic. They, a lot of times they seem to draw the short straw. Then they drew it short on Raw too to follow up with that. But that's because they can work. Ray can get anybody over, Rey Mysterio, and he's small, so it's believable. And then Dominic's young, so he's got to learn and come up to the things. And also, it could be a way of keeping him humble, which I don't think they need to do that. But I don't know him personally, but I know Ray's a great guy. So if Ray's a great guy, I'm sure the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. So I'm sure Dominic's a great guy too. But yeah, so that match was like, I was like, yeah, I thought it was good too. I thought these were all WrestleMania matches. I mean, if I'm not raving over them, it's because there's so many matches that I rave over in moments, but they were all solid and all WrestleMania worthy. And then you had the Women's Championship, Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair, which is definitely WrestleMania worthy.
That was a great match.
She's so athletic, and Becky, and I said this before, I wasn't a giant Becky Lynch fan, but then when I seen her work Lita, I could see that she was like calling through that, getting Lita to get through that match and stuff like that, and being a leader in there, and a lot the same. I think that's what I was seeing go on in this match, because Bianca's young, is raw talent, a tremendous athlete, and then just getting through all the stuff they did, the false finishes and stuff like that. I mean, there was the one when she came off the top and the heels caught her in the eye. Yes. Heel caught her in the cheekbone, which might have threw the momentum off for a minute in the match to make sure everybody was good, maybe clear a little bit of cobwebs. But
to me, that move actually looked intentional. So I thought she was doing like. So
you saying wrestling's real? So you saying
it is. It is. No, I didn't know, and then the commentary said, "Oh, I think she was going for some kind of senton," and I was just like, "Oh yeah, she does that senton from the." So
you thought she was trying to hit her with the heel in the face to make it look intentional, but no, it was probably a back to chest type of thing and land on the feet for a pin, Maybe. I don't know. I'm not in the match. I didn't call it. That's the beautiful thing about wrestling. Only two of them will know. So I'm sure they had to work it out amongst each other. I'm sure it was purely an accident. But she got some mileage out of it on Raw in a weird way the next day. I was watching it this morning. It was kind of weird. I probably would never even acknowledged having the black eye and saying she tried to take my eye, and that was kind of weird on Raw. Weird moment for me personally. I probably wouldn't even acknowledge it, because like like a black eye. Well, I can come over there and just smack you and give you a black eye. Like they go out there and hit they're hitting each other with tremendous moves that are meant to destroy you, and then you get a black eye, and then now you go, they try to take my eye because you got an actual black eye. It's just. I would have never even acknowledged it. I would just move on, unless there was like stitches and it was gaping out or something like that. I don't know. Black eye's a black eye. I mean, everything you do in wrestling, you should have black eyes every match. Bruised cheekbones. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. You look at Cody Rhodes after his match. I think Seth Rollins has those like little not rhinestones, but he has like jewelry type. He had like things on there, like these little things. So when he was kicking Cody, even when Cody came out on Raw, you can see they had makeup over that because they're not trying to acknowledge that. Maybe not to take away Bianca pushing the black eye, because Cody's forehead looked like it was all beat up and bruised and scraped from those things in his body. So, you know, in wrestling, it's not ballet. It's a battle art. I mean,
of course.
You know, you work, obviously you're working together in an entertainment sense, but you're right. There's nothing fake about your body being on the line and there. So when I see a black eye, I go, shit, I have black eyes every night, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, in reality, if Drew Galloway or Drew McIntyre, that big ass, if you know how big he is, he's a big dude. Now, them big shoulders, triceps, and chest, if he punched me in my face, my whole face should be black and swollen, you know. So I probably would have avoided the whole, like they kind of did with Cody. They put the makeup on it and moved on. I probably would have just, I got a black eye. I wouldn't have made a promo out of it, like or hit on points of it. But a very good match, and I'm super happy to see Bianca Belair. I don't know about. I'm still not a fan of the hair thing, but I'm a fan of her.
I don't think they used the hair thing this time.
Yeah, she used it against her. Becky would pull on it. It wasn't used as a whip or anything like that. But not that I remember. Nothing silliness. But it was a good match. Great match, actually. Really good. Then you had Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes, which Cody came out. I mean, he's just so weird to see him there. I mean, it just seems strange. I know I'm not being funny. It just seems strange. It just seems so weird. Like this guy. Yeah. Well, they teased it. You know, it did happen fast. I guess in a month of a whirlwind. But like they teased Edge, but then AJ Styles came out. They teased Miz, and then Logan Paul came out. Like you all thought it was going to be them. So you left this the obvious. It was the obvious at this time, I would have popped if Bray Wyatt would have came out, but I don't know.
That would have been cool.
But maybe Bray Wyatt will get with Edge and Damian Priest. Who knows? But he'd be too overpowering for Edge. But it'd be pretty cool. Maybe they're answering him as a higher power, and they switch things out and throw everybody for a swerve. That'd be good. Good match though. Cody works so hard all the time. Yeah. Seth Rollins, like I never was a big Seth Rollins fan, and I've said this before in here, but now like I love the woo. I don't know about the pink, like I don't know if you didn't see his Raw wear. He had some pink, there was some tight pants like going on Raw, but I mean I like his outfits, but I like his energy. I like that. Ooh, like
in WrestleMania he came out with the blue.
He's just like really. I don't know. It's like super cool to me now. Like I don't know. So I dig it. They worked really hard, and a lot of false finishes, a lot of cool stuff. Some stuff that was like barely pulled off, but some very dangerous stuff. But they got it, man. And they overall, I mean, it was a good match. Like WrestleMania worthy. And like again, WrestleMania worthy. It was a good match. Didn't want to let down. Now this one was a little tough one. And I'm a
women.
Yeah, we got the SmackDown's Women's Championship. It was Charlotte Flair and Ronda Rousey. When I say tough, in a sense, I think there was 2 nipple slips. The screen went black once on Charlotte, unfortunately. For her. Well, they had to because Paramount, or not Paramount, Peacock. I believe did that because I was like, what's going on? Why does this TV keep missing? like, on one, but I don't think the other. I didn't even catch the other. I was probably so tired in this match. This is the match I fell asleep in, and then had to rewatch in the morning. But then when I clicked it back and fast forwarded, I think I missed some of the match, so I didn't see everything. It just seemed like it was like power slams that weren't done properly, but it could have been a judo throw for all I know. That might have been a style of throw and judo. Yeah. It just looked to me.
A lot of things forced, maybe.
Yeah. Maybe Ronda Rousey was all over the place. I'm not sure. And you could say, well, Charlotte's experience, but I think Charlotte worked really hard trying to retain it. I wouldn't put much on Charlotte, like in a negative way. I think this was just this stuff went awry here. Stuff was hard. It was a tough match and a lot of miscues. And it is what it is, and it is wasn't
Charlotte
what it
always
wasn't.
works hard though.
Yeah, she does. She's
always,
a beast.
Every
and,
match.
I mean, but still a good match. It's just it was just a lot of I don't know. It's like going to wrestling school when you're at training, at a training facility.
Yeah.
and you put Will in there with Beast. There's a lot of headbutts and clobbers and stray elbows flying. It's just
not smooth.
It's just not smooth. It's rough. Like the moves are not performed properly, and the transitions into them, they're rushed, and so like a lot of talent and a lot of great possibilities. But man, my phone keeps going out.
Not the right chemistry, maybe.
No, it's just no, it's just
I
rushed.
don't know, but on the gear malfunction, I know, me personally, there's nothing more like annoying than not being comfortable in your gear when you're wrestling.
Yeah, that's not being comfortable in gear would be Ronda Rousey, because the minute she came out there, she was pulling at her crotch, I get it. I don't like when my underwear rides up either, because I can only imagine being a female and it's riding up. You know, you're an athlete and all that, and you know, you're on the world's grandest stage for professional wrestling. You know, the showcase of the immortals, and you're in the semi-main, which I heard rumors that she was upset that it wasn't the main, because she thought it was supposed to be the main event, and she walked out on Friday night in SmackDown. So those were some of the stories that when I was doing cardio the other day, listening to it, I'm like, oh, well, I didn't know. Nobody picked it up, excuse me. But I guess they worked it out, and she showed up, and that could have been some of the why the match was the way it was. Because if you're not like happy with what's going on, full hearted, and you go in there with a bit of a bad attitude to match that bad reputation, you know, it goes. I mean, it still was good. It's just very rough match. It's very rough, choppy, rough and choppy. But yeah, gear's important. I struggle too, because I've gained weight and my back injury, and then now with I've hurt my good knee and just limping around. But I always catch myself adjusting my gear, and that's the last thing you want to be doing in a match. You need to be thinking. So if you're worried about your gear, it's going to affect how you perform in your match too, because you're in your head about your gear. So like if you're Charlotte Flair, I don't know, if you're in your head about your nipple coming out or whatever. Unfortunately, Ronda Rousey, the minute she came to the ring, she was pulling her shorts out of her junk and adjusting her top. Are you waving at me, Raymond?
Like once you get out there,
I thought you were praising hallelujah or something.
My opinion, once you get out there, you do not mess with your gear, unless unless a boob is like coming out, which it shouldn't, because you should have a proper gear anyway. Then you do not touch your gear. You don't mess with it, because it's distracting. Yeah. That's all you see from her, is her pulling her crap.
That's what we see. Maybe not everybody, not the fans might not be seeing that, but because we've been in those situations, we might be seeing it. That match was just choppy and a little rough, and it could have been because of the wardrobes and stuff like that. But
that's definitely gonna be on your mind. Is like.
Well, yeah, definitely. If I can only imagine as a male, like my underwear riding up. How many times you see me when we're doing legs or something in the gym? I start pulling my.
Even when we're not.
I'm pulling at it. I'm adjusting my stuff. So I can only imagine with the whole world watching, and you feel like your shit's riding up your crack. You're gonna be a little uncomfortable. So I mean, it's why I believe you should put your gear on and wear it around and whatever in your house and do some weird things. And it still doesn't account for when you start getting out there in a match and sweating, and how gear will slide up and different things, you know. So yeah, that's a tough one. So and then it finished up with the KO show, which Kevin Owens came out, whatever, his basic set with a couple of his pictures, and KO, just a KO show, whatever it was. And then he gets Stone Cold. He comes out, and then he comes out, but then he goes back and gets a four-wheeler and comes down and does some laps around on the four-wheeler, which I don't know if anybody's been on a four-wheeler, but it's not that easy to keep those turns tight and not hit that brake around that ring 2 times with the steps and the tables and the monitor. So
that's talent right
that's
there.
Some straight up Stone Cold Broken Ranch talent right there. And I'm not mocking country people or anything like that, because I'm country as hell. If anybody really knows me, I'm hood country. Yep. So I'm a mix. If that's a possible thing, that's what I am. I'm like Bubba Sparks.
Definitely a thing.
I'm hood country. Definitely, I'm definitely hood country. Yeah, hood country. Yeah, that should be a tag team now. I'm gonna come up with a tag team. Hood country. I put Seth with Raymond. It could be hood country. Raymond's not hood.
Seth with Gio?
Nah, who?
Gio?
Gio's an idiot. Gio ain't nothing. Gio's not like Gio. You want to listen to I gave Gio. All right, we're gonna take a break from WrestleMania too. Well, we'll get back to just.
I'm sorry.
Hold that subject because I try to help Gio. All right, not like.
I poked something.
No, because I try to get people. Hold on, like we'll come back to Stone Cold. Don't let me forget what that main event was. Stone Cold K. No, because I tell Gio, hey, you look good. Like Xander, right? Xander's kind of floating around. He's weather the things, but. I see something that could get them on shows and get them pushed and be fun and give them vignettes and stuff. He goes, I don't really know the guy. Motherfucker, you want to be on a wrestling show or not? And that's his generation of entitlement.
It's also a great opportunity to create something and then
just do it for a little while. How young are you? You're not getting on a show now, so
maybe if you get together with the guy with the Xander, you will.
They look good together. When I do some tag team things, they actually look like a tag team.
I'm not arguing.
No,
or
I'm
defending.
Just saying. I'm saying, you should try it. But then after took me to get upset and talk like I am now. And he's like, well, if you want me to, like, no, forget it, man. Get out of here. Like, I'm just trying to help him because he's in a kind of he wants to move forward, but he's not strong enough training wise. He got to get show experience. So. It's a tag thing.
But also, if you don't want to take your advice.
And then the guy he wants to tag with, he's crying about an injury every day. Every day he comes in, oh, my ankle, my hip. No, it's your bumping. It's your bumping and your recklessness of how you bump and the feet and the stuff instead of being clean. Well, never mind, that's training. Let's get out. Let's go back to Stone Cold and KO. So Kevin Owens. So we got a four-wheeler. All right, Kevin Owens in the ring. Stone Cold comes out, gets back on the four-wheeler, comes around, does some hell-ass laps around the ring, which, it's cool. I mean, I think they could have done more, being they gave Becky Lynch had a limo, big white truck or something. Yes. And Sasha Banks had a Ferrari or Lamborghini or something. She came out in. Whatever, Stone Cold got his four-wheeler. It is night one. At WrestleMania. He comes out in his four-wheeler. It suits him, and he does his laps around. He gets in there and doesn't want to sit down, and he eases into the seat, KO in his Canadian ways, gets him comfortable, and, sits down, and then Kevin Owens professes to him that he lied. That he really, didn't want him to do an interview. He wanted to fight him or whatever, and that he's got a bad back. So he says, even though I have a bad back, KO, I'll fight you. It always sets up for the suplex spots all on the floor where he gives Stone Cold the suplex and Stone Cold one-ups him on the stage with the suplexes. But whatever, it turns into a brawl. He says, hey, I want to fight you. Stone Cold accepts. They breaks down right outside. Boom. Vintage Stone Cold out through the crowd. Stone Cold ends up taking a bump out there. They brawl all the way through. It's just a brawl. Finally, boom. Can't remember. It was a stunner. I'm sure. Obviously, it was a stunner. On Stone Cold's behalf. Boom, and then celebration, and then Stone Cold brings people in to celebrate. He stunners everybody. I don't know. Stunners everywhere. Goes off the air with Stone Cold drinking beers. And good. I think it's a good memory for anybody. I know that when I was in Dallas, just in the airport and stuff, I was there on Thursday, Friday, went home Saturday morning. I see nothing but Stone Cold shirts. It was like the Attitude Era all over again. Everywhere you went, it was Stone Cold, Stone Cold. We were in Texas, granted, but still, Stone Cold is Stone Cold.
It was a good end to the first night, too.
Good end to the first night. So the second night, kicked out. So Triple H came out.
Left his boots in the ring.
He came out, and he just kind of looked around. He did his water spray, soaked it all in. He didn't say a whole lot, just like left it with WrestleMania, kind of like how Vince McMahon would open up WrestleMania. Welcome to WrestleMania. Left his boots in the microphone. We've talked about it. We wished him well wishes on his health and defibrillator, whatever the thing in his heart, which I don't quite understand all that stuff. I'm not a medical guy, but very serious conditions. And so he's not going to wrestle anymore. And he kept it simple, kept it clean, kept it fast, and went out. Sad, but he did it he did it with class, and it was good to see him out there and in his environment. You know, I know it was probably hard because I don't know, he's so busy with all the backstage stuff. But hell, that backstage stuff could be harder on your heart than wrestling. I think the stress of working for WWE, that's like 300 and however many days in a year there is, and then some. Add a couple days on top of that, so like 370 days in a year, whatever, 24/7. So make that like 26 and 10 or something. You know, 26 10.
It's a lot of days.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
A lot of days.
That shit ain't easy there, and I was just wrestling there. I can tell you that ain't no joke there, man. You know, I mean, we think there's a lot of wrestlers out in the world, but there's not compared to everything else in the world. If you think of how many people in the world, how many jobs in the world, just WWE. It's not an easy job, no matter what. It's not an easy job. It's not very mentally tasking. Even when you think you got shit under control, you think you got a grasp on everything, there's still one up to you in a mind game. But, you know, but that's the game. Yeah. And Triple H was the game. It's always going to be the game, and sad to see him go. So then we came out. What was the first one? Oh, okay, here we go. RK Bro, Your Dudes, The Street Profits, and Alpha Academy. So that was good. I thought it was good. It was busy all over the place. Lots of cool spots, and then RK Bro defeated the Street Profits and Alpha Academy via pinfall to retain the title. That's where all the cool RKOs came from. Yeah, Riddle and all them. So that was good. And then you had some, they all wanted to have the red Solo Cup toast. You know, they come in, and I'm hoping that was water and they weren't drinking straight vodka on there, because it was definitely clear.
It was clear, yeah.
It was clear, but I'm assuming it was water with all those Olympic athletes in there. And Chad Gable, he goes and tries to crap in the new guy, Steve Son, is that how you say his name? Yeah, Steve Son.
Steve Son?
Steve Son. I think it's weird. It's different. It's pronounced a little different, yeah. I would have said Stevens, but I think it's Steve Son or something like Steve Son. Mm-hmm. But whatever, he knocks the red Solo Cup, says, hey, I was here first. Cool. Blah, 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 blah. And he gets belly-to-belly overhead suplex or something for his troubles. And then here's the big
Tossed him, too.
And now... I always say his name wrong, obviously, but Bobby Lashley versus Omos, which, man, that, in a sense, seemed a little rough, but he's so big, and Lashley's so strong. Man, I thought I saw a couple heads hit the back of those poles. I thought I saw Omos' head hit the pole or the corner spot, but I didn't see no blood or nothing, so maybe they're just really good at what they do. Or they just got lucky. I think they got lucky with that rear head Lashley. I think he got lucky not cracking his head open. I think Omos was like lucky in the corner too with his head, like because they looked very close to the suspect to me, but they came out okay.
There were a lot of spears too. There were like 2 or 3 spears on that match.
Was there?
Yeah, one to the back.
I'm not gonna read all these details. If you remember it, I'll believe you. I watched it, but yeah,
there was like one spear to Omos's back, and then
he speared the kidney, and then he speared him in the front, and then Bobby Lashley suplexed him. He's so big, Omos. I think his shoulders were still on the ground during the suplex. He's so tall. Like, it was cool. And I'm not gonna say I predicted, but I said definitely Bobby Lashley over, and then I was saying they would. Turn and put MVP with them, which they did on Raw last night. So MVP is now the mouthpiece of Omos.
You're just on top of everything.
No, it's just what makes sense. Just where they're at. WWE makes it very, I don't want to say predictable, but you understand the story, so you can come up with your best scenario of it, because like unlike AEW. They got a lot of talent and having good matches. They have a lot of good matches, but like every week is somebody different. Like they got so many people, and like WWE will build mega stars, like giant, like Brock or Roman Reigns is this huge star, and you know Roman Reigns, and you're gonna know everybody. You know Austin Theory now, WWE, but every week AEW has somebody different. And you're like, whoa. How did he get here? Why is he there? And it's what's he in this match for? But then you see CM Punks, and Regal's team and Bryan and
all
Johnny
WWE,
Moxley,
though.
John Moxley, and all that. So you know all that. So I don't know. I don't know. Whatever I was talking about, I'm lost. So I'm just gonna move on to the next one. I'm easily lost today. And El Generico versus Johnny Knoxville.
Oh my god. Oh.
Sami Zayn.
Yep.
And anything goes. Now, this was an interesting match. This reminded me of watching one of Sim Bodie's matches. You remember Sim Bodie? You know Sim Bodie, Nick Sim Bodie out in Vegas. He would run Freak Show Wrestling. And this was basically a Freak Show Wrestling thing with little people running around, people in G-strings coming out. I mean, the whole
cast.
The whole cast of Jackass, right? But basically, that's like a Sim Bodie show. Watching that match didn't bother me because it was like watching Sim Bodie shows, and I've been on Sim Bodie shows, and I just felt like I was part of one of Sim Bodie's freak shows. So all the way down to the bowling ball and the nuts at the end, you know, like.
Oh my!
And Sim Bodie would not be passed. Sim Bodie is the kind of guy that would come out with a giant rat trap too to pin you. That would be like right up Sim Bodie's alley.
The finish was pretty cool.
If I didn't know any better, I would have thought Sim Bodie was the agent on this match. But Sim Bodie is not the agent in this match, nor is he there. He's probably in Vegas making his action figures now. He's making really good money making these. He paints them and handcrafts them and makes all these action figures. Yeah. Sim Bodie's doing really good with that and wrestling. He's all over the place. But
they also had the machine that it was like a prosthetic leg that literally.
That would be right out of a Sim Bodie match, and the big hand smacking Sami Zayn on the outside. So this match was full of silliness.
Poor Sammy.
Can anybody explain to me why Johnny Knoxville had to keep the glasses on? Did he have like eye surgery or something? Because it seemed very important, no matter what, for him to keep those eye goggles or glasses on. I don't know if they're safety glasses or actual glasses.
Maybe he has.
I mean, to the point that his forehead was busted open from trying to keep them on. Like he was bleeding right here, like, yeah, like they got knocked off. Instead of selling, he got his glasses back on. The camera clipped away, you come back, and he had them back on. Like, no matter what, to me, I was so distracted in this match. Just, I didn't mind the match because, like I said, it just reminded me of Sim Bodie's freak shows. But what fascinated me is how he kept the glasses on, how he would get them back on when they would get knocked off, but. The question is why?
Maybe he had some
kind
of injury or
maybe
something.
He had some LASIK eye stuff. I don't know. But why would you do that right before WrestleMania?
Very true.
Or is it like me? He just doesn't want to look old, so he wears glasses all the time. I don't know. Is he a vampire? I don't know. But they were clear. I don't know. Silliness. But WrestleMania worthy as comic relief, and yeah,
you need one of those matches.
Yeah, it's good. And then I felt bad for Sami Zayn, but it was good. His elbow was busted open at the end too.
Yeah,
seen a little elbow in the rat trap, little blood in the rat trap bleeding there. I felt so. He must have had to hold himself down there. It must have felt so silly, like that. Like, but whatever. It is what it is, and
must have been fun.
And it was a laugh. It was all right. I didn't hate it. Like I said, I'm just used to seeing stuff. My hand's cramping holding this phone up here. And then we had
next match was the
women's tag team. Yes, Carmella, Queen Selena, Sasha Banks, and Naomi, and Natalya, and Shayna Baszler, and
Rhea Ripley, and Liv Morgan too.
Yeah.
So the fatal 4-way
versus Liv in True Brutality. Is that what they're just calling it on I don't know. So yeah, it was good. Who got they lost, they changed title switch, so it was Naomi and Sasha Banks, the boss, over in that. It was WrestleMania. I mean, it was action nonstop, some false finishes and good
I was
stuff.
thrown off by some of the teams. It was just some of the teams to me are a little weird. They're just a little weird.
It looks like what you're trying to. Well, here's the thing: is you really haven't pushed the tag team division in women's. Your men's barely was pushed, and then the RK Bro and them came along and put a lot of energy in pushing that. You're just starting the women, so you got to go over your roster and go, well, we got to match some people up. So I think if you run through the roster and everything without bringing anybody new or anything, because what your current talent was in the roster, they matched them up the way they could match them up the best they could. So that was my opinion. That's how I feel about it. So I wasn't that didn't bother me so much at teams, because I just thought in my head, from a person who runs shows and this and that.
I mean, I figured
you deal
that's
with your
what they
existing
did.
roster that people will know, name value, where you just bring out somebody like, Joe or Josie or Joanna Duff. They'd be like, who? But, if you bring out Natalia was trying to, like they'll go, oh, hey, we get it, but this is kind of strange, but we get it. But it's because they were pulling from the roster, and you get so much. I mean, I could have pulled up from NXT, but that causes office crap problems and stuff like that. So it's just better to like make do and mix and match what you have as they try to build a tag team division. But it was a good match. It was action plus, and new tag team champions. Congratulations. Then you get the AJ Styles versus Edge, right? So. Good match. Can anybody explain why AJ was bleeding when he came out?
So I think when I don't know.
Googled it.
I don't know. I don't know if this is a reliable source. But yesterday, Meadow. I know.
You can trust the Bulgarian on it.
He told me that it was some pyro thing.
If one of the fans got it on video, you know how the Wrestlemania stage, he hit his head on it coming out. Like
he hit his head on the
head. Yeah, you know how it was
how?
Oh, okay, it happens.
He just ran into it?
Yeah, it's a fan video of him hitting his head on it.
Well, I'd buy either one, that or the pyro. Either, because it happened fresh and it was fresh coming out.
Yeah.
But he tried to no-sell it, but it was running, so he's probably wondering how much it was running. But, yeah, that kind of sucks. I've been there with some things. I've actually accidentally shaved like a mole here thing when I was shaving, and I couldn't stop the blood. I thought that it was stopped, and when I came up to the elevator, I get up to the top and I'm bleeding. I'm like, oh my gosh, it just seems like it's just one of those things. But he motored on, soldiered on, great match, boom, 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 and back and forth, false finishes. Then it looks like AJ's got Edge, and then boom, my boy Damian Priest comes out there. Doesn't do nothing, just looks enough to settle it, like for AJ to look like, what are you doing out there? And enough for Edge to hit the spear as AJ came off the top for that. What is it? The phenomenal. Your AJ Styles, what is it?
Phenomenal forearm.
The phenomenal forearm, and boom. They come in the ring, have a moment together, and boom, there's my dream team.
Together.
There's my dream team. They're building a faction. Looks like a faction is in play. Well, I don't know. I would be good if they just left the two of them. But Edge's entrance was very. Did Undertaker pass the torch? Like it's not.
I liked it.
It's not Undertaker because they're wearing suits. I kind of remember like when Southern Justice was. They were called Southern Justice or whatever, but they wore suits. It reminds me like these guys are gothic and dark, but they're gonna wear suits. So I don't know. It's a little bit of mix of everything.
Well, he came out with the fire, right?
And then it's like Edge is gonna judge even Wade and found wanting or whatever, kind of like an old thing, judging you, the way passing judgment. Did Killer Cross do something like that?
I don't know.
I think that would have been great if they would have kept Killer Cross and brought him in. The three of them would have been awesome. That would have been super, super cool. But because I thought Killer Cross kind of like he would weigh you and find you wanting or something. But I don't know. The suits, I think I like it. It came down, dressed nice on Raw. I think I like the suit parts of it, and then dressing like Edge with. I like these ring robes. I like where it's going. I'm curious, excited. This is a dream team of mine. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to see if they do build a faction, who they add. Well, I think they should have a woman. Yeah, I definitely, and I think Rhea Ripley would fit it. I don't know about her Catwoman and Batwoman. Well, I think they said it right when they said Donnie Darko. It looked more like Donnie Darko and
they
Catwoman.
came out with those masks.
The other guy said no, it's Batman, but Batman's ears aren't that big. I think it was.
It's not Batman.
I think it was Donnie Darko. Donnie Darko is like more darker and.
You think they would add Rhea Ripley now that she's with Liv Morgan though?
I think they take them as a tag team. Take both of them. Why not? Like, have your little gargoyle women. Like they're tougher than some of the guys. Hell. All right, and then I didn't think this match was happening because the rumors they took this match out. But New Day, Sheamus, and Rich Holland was super quick. Well, when I say super quick, it wasn't very long. Average match. It just felt like they forced it on there because they wanted them on there.
Yeah.
And I think they would not having this match, but. I'm glad they didn't, it's nothing worse than being ready to wrestle. And maybe they wanted to get Xavier or whatever wearing Big E stuff after the broken neck and stuff like that. And this match seemed more focused on getting a little skinny guy over, or the smaller guy of the group of Sheamus and Ridge Holland. Butch. Seemed like a lot of structure towards that. His aggressiveness and stuff like there. But it was just an average match. And it wasn't bad by no means. It just felt like forced on there for whatever reasons. Probably. I'm not in the office, nor will I be. But maybe just they want to get the Big E thing in. Maybe get some steam on Sheamus, which I'm most really building up that little guy for whatever reasons. I get it. It reminds me of like a Gangs in New York. No, you ever see Gangs in New York? No, the movie. Oh, no. Gangs in New York with Daniel Day-Lewis and all that, and these guys are the rabbits. If you watch it, I really think it's a thing on that. It's back when all the Irish came in, and the Irish and then the English and they're New York, and they were fighting over its territories and stuff. But it wasn't like Crips and Bloods. It was like Irish versus the English, and they're fighting over things and stuff. The 4 points in New York and the corners and stuff like that.
That's what they were going for.
In my mind, that's what it reminds me of. Very much so. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. But your mom actually likes that movie. Then we got Pat McAfee and Austin Theory, A-Town. Austin Theory. I'm super happy for him. 24 years old, I believe. And just like 5 years ago, he was wrestling in old school championship wrestling. I think you were on the show with him. When you came up and did a show with me there, I believe he was on the show. You probably don't remember him, but
I don't. But
he was there, and then now there he is. 5 short years later, he's in WrestleMania with Vince McMahon. So Austin Theory, Vince comes out. Austin introduces, brings Austin Theory out. Pat McAfee. I thought this match was good. I thought Austin Theory and Pat was really good. Pat McAfee, he's better. Just like Logan Paul. He's better than half everybody else I see on the weekend. No offense, guys, but I'm including myself in that too. His athletic was good. Then Austin Theory beat Austin Theory got beat by Pat. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like weird. We beat him, but then Vince McMahon, he challenges Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon teases it, whatever, drops the coat, comes out. Vince looked really fragile, but hell, he's 74, right?
Still jacked, though.
He's 76, even 76. I know how I'm walking as 53, and this guy, he's out there, and they did, like, if you want to call it a match, there was a bell. There was a bell. The bell rang, and there was a pin, but if you want to call it a match, I don't know. So you think it's over, you think it's done. And then what do you hear? You hear the glass break, the glass shatter, and Stone Cold. Stone Cold comes out and
gives him
gets on it. And does whatever. Might have been one of the worst, not on Stone Cold's part, but like stunners I ever seen. And that's like something I would do. I'd bump bad like stunners. Like I've taken awkward bumps like that. But hell, he's 76 years old. Like. For his knees, I don't even know what he feels like. I couldn't even know what I'm gonna feel like at 74.
He was falling back on the ropes. So.
Yeah, but hey, you guys are knocking him, but it's
no, I'm not knocking him. I'm just.
He's got his arms are there. He still look good, man. 76, he's still jacked. I mean,
I said he was jacked, but yeah.
Granted, the stunner was not the prettiest thing in the world, but the people got the point. I think that match made its point. Everything kind of long. Like I said, if they would have just took that New Day match out, nothing against New Day and them, I think it just kind of ran long because I was already struggling. Now I'm like, oh my goodness, like. Man, I only stayed when I was going to bed, and then it's Austin Theory. I'll watch Austin Theory, because personally I've worked him and kind of like happy for him. Let me see him have his moment and see how well he does, and he's adapted very well. So I stayed through it, but then that happened, and then Stone Cold came, and I'm like, oh wow, they got to be close to the end, and yes, they were. Then it was, then we had then we had the big unification match. We had let me see, winner takes all championship unification. Roman Reigns, the Universal versus Brock Lesnar, the Raw or whatever champion, whatever he is. Well, I'm just saying whatever the other belt. So, wow, these guys, big guys. I don't know what you're gonna do. I mean, you've seen it once, you've seen it before. They're gonna It's gonna be suplexes and Superman punches. Like no, I'm not knocking it. I mean, it's just you. What are they gonna do? They're not gonna do. Is Brock gonna pull out that shooting star press? I mean, no.
Yeah.
I mean, so they did what they did, and Brock Lesnar, he put over Roman Reigns. So Roman Reigns is now a mega star. I don't know who's gonna wrestle Roman Reigns or come for Roman Reigns. Bobby Lashley. I don't know. I don't know where they're gonna build. They got one belt now. I don't know if this. That's all for that, right? That's all. Nothing else. I don't have Raw down there. I don't know. Where do you go now? Curious to see. Super excited for it because where do you go? You're that big and you haven't been beaten 2 years since December of 2019 or whatever it was. The day, the exact day. He hadn't been. They kept pushing on it. He hadn't been pinned or submitted since then. I don't know. Are they going for? Are they going to another year of Roman Reigns then versus The Rock? Are they going to hot shot it at a Royal Rumble or something? I don't know. Where are they going to go? What are they going to do? What are we going to get out of this? But he is Roman Reigns is now officially not just a superstar. He's a megastar. So he's a megastar. So
where do you think Brock Lesnar is going to go now?
Well, I don't know, but
think he's going to stick around?
I have no idea. I really don't. I don't know or know how to speculate. But I think he did a class act. He put Roman over, and they worked hard, and it was good. And now that was your WrestleMania weekend. 2 nights, the most stupendous WrestleMania it was, and it was the second night. I mean, you go night 1 or night 2. Which one?
Which one did I like more?
Yeah.
Oof, that's hard.
I
almost want to say night 1.
Raymond, you?
Night 1.
Night 1. I was night 2. Flowed better. Just flowed better. It slowed down the Vince McMahon thing and everything, but it just flowed better. I mean, except for the Sheamus match and all that, but I don't know. But they're both good. I think they're both worthy. It was like 2 nights of It was 2 WrestleManias. So it was kind of cool. Good job. Great production. What they draw? 2 nights. Picture this. 2 nights. Not just all the revenues. Forget about the billion revenues on pay-per-view, whatever.
Yeah.
Over 150,000 fans.
Crazy.
So each night had over 77,000 fans. Like second night was like 78,000 or 79,000. The first night was over 77,000. Add those up. That's a lot of damn people coming to the show. Adds a lot of money. Like I know some tickets are probably 2-day ones or whatever and stuff like that. But that's still a lot of revenue. A lot of revenue for Dallas. Kudos to Dallas, Texas for hosting that and handling that. Shame on you Uber drivers, though. Shame on you Uber system out there. Oh, man, these guys. I didn't fall into it because I didn't try peak hours. But I know guys that were like, oh, we're going to go eat and meet up with some people. And they take an Uber like $35 one way. They go to come home, it's over $100 back the same way because of peak hours and stuff like that. So
that's insane.
Shame on you. Well, I guess the supply and demand. So if you needed a ride, you were gonna have to pay it. You wanted to pay it, and apparently people paid it because they didn't want to be stuck there. But yeah, that's it. 2 nights of WrestleMania, and then we get to Raw, and I watched Raw this morning a little bit, but I can't. It was all blur. I mean, Edge came out with Damian Priest, and they kind of sealed their deal as Priest is loyal to Edge and stuff like that. So he's made it clear that he's a follower. So Edge is, which we all figured it was obvious that Edge was going to be the higher up in that group, or the mentor, or whatever, however you want to look at it, the leader of that group. And then AJ came out, and then boom. Got over a little bit, but then they shut him down. And Austin Theory with the Usos beat RK Bro and Finn Balor. Austin Theory got a pin on Finn Balor, so Austin Theory's back up after his loss to Pat McAfee. That's one great thing about pro wrestling. You can get beat tomorrow, and people forget the next day. Oh, he beat Finn Balor, and then he'll be back in the mix for the whatever he has, the Intercontinental or whatever Finn Balor's holding. Yeah, and then trying to think what else. It was all blur. I missed the women's match. I accidentally fast-forwarded through it, and not intentionally. It was an accident. Yeah. Commercials went fast. I was eating breakfast, or I was making a shake. And
how will you book Roman on both shows?
I just told you, I don't know where he goes, Raymond. Earlier, I just said I don't know where and how he would go. What do you do with Roman now? I don't know. That's what I was saying earlier. When we talked about it, I said, I have no clue. Where does he go from here now? Brock, you said he'd probably go. You said that. I don't know where Brock's going to go, but I don't know who touches Roman Reigns now. Bobby Lashley's his next. But now he's feuding. Looks like he's going to have a feud with MVP and whatever his name is. I say his name.
Omos.
Omos.
Yeah.
I struggle with that. So I don't know where you go with Raymond. I don't know where you go with Roman Reigns. Don't ask me to mysteriously book that. I can't. Like that, they created a megastar, so he's a megastar. He's Hulk Hogan. He's like you have to beat everybody. I don't know if it goes all the way. I said I don't know if he just runs over everybody through the next year to Rock versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. Or
did they do that already or no?
I don't know. They got that Veer guy they're bringing in. I mean, it looks like they're slowly milking in bigger guys. So it's hard to say. You got to give me a couple weeks of Raw, and I'll give you another answer. Because I don't know how I would do it. I don't know. They built such a huge star. I don't know. I don't know. I'd come up with an injury or something. He has to drop the belt and it comes back and takes it all again and let other people run it. I don't know. Something. I don't know, but that's that and that. Do we have any Pandora's box today? Diaz, ABD. What's in the box? Before Raymond gets hot. Raymond's hot about that Roman Reigns thing. Oh, you're going to book him. He's a megastar now. He's booking himself. He's like, the Samoans. They all got gold. Even his wife's got gold. Naomi. They all got gold in the Samoan family.
Wait. That's the wife?
Yeah. No.
That's the Usos' wife.
Yes, Usos. But they're tag teams. So she's tag teams.
I thought you meant
tag teams. Roman Reigns got gold. They all got gold. The whole family.
I thought you meant that's Roman.
The Samoan dynasty rolls on. No, Roman's wife. No. Like Usos' wife. They're tag team. They're like, they both got tag team titles. And so Samoan dynasty's pushing forward, man. It's a machine. I don't know, Raymond. Bring Keisha in. Bring big Keisha in. Back that ass up on Roman. Warm him up for The Rock. Start running through Samoans. Maybe he starts breaking down all these different Samoans until he gets to The Rock, you know. Say he's the tribal chief.
That'd be kind of cool.
It has to happen. It's like,
Yeah, 752. You got down in NXT. He's the other side, but I don't know. So strong and so hard now. It's a beast. It's a war machine. I don't know where it's going. And once he beat Brock, which everybody figured or guessed, I guess, I don't know, but he's a megastar now. He's officially a megastar. Like not just a superstar. He's a megastar. Hogan, he's Samoan Hogan.
Okay, first question.
Oh, I got to sneeze too now. I'm allergic to Raymond's questions.
Bless you. Bless you. Bless you.
Oh, Raymond, what have you done to me? Last time, you know why I'm not feeling good, Anna?
You don't have all that crap in your coffee?
No, I haven't felt good since Sparkles came on here that day. He just sucked the life out of me. And then I had to go on the road right after that and got a 1-2 in the balls, I guess. And then, I don't know. And the 2 nights of WrestleMania, I'm just, and Raw,
you're just
teacher
drained.
class.
You're
I'm tired.
Mentally and physically drained.
Raymond's made it his life mission to torture me. All right. Coffee back in. Sorry, excuse me for all the sneezing there. I think I knocked the stuff off the studio walls. All right. What's in the box? What's with the... All right. Oh, I missed it already. You already got the box.
Okay.
All right.
How much control does a match agent / producer have over a match? This is from Styles in Motion.
Well, it's kind of like it depends upon the company, I suppose. I couldn't tell you now in WWE because I'm not there. When I was in WWE, and this was the Attitude Era, I could tell you the agents would come to me and say, here's what we're doing at the end of the match. This is where we need to go. This is where we got to get him at the end of the match. And then they'd say, hey, so go have a match. If you make me look bad, I'm going to blame it on you. If you make me look good, I'm taking all the credit. The agent would just say, if it goes bad, they're going to blame you. If it goes great, they're going to take the credit. And then good luck and walk off. They trusted you. Trust you to be able to work. Now, I believe, and I could be wrong because I am not there, but from what I'm hearing, they kind of like script it. There's rehearsals. So the agent has a lot of control of the match, like in WWE, like from the beginning to the very end. It's very structured and whatnot. Now, maybe not so much in like the edges and stuff like that, but very much so with the young guys. Other companies, I don't know, MLW in that particular company, you have you're explaining where it's going, what they need at the end, the times, it's curtain to curtain. You're explaining little things that you wouldn't think you had to explain, like don't kick the friggin' lights out off the stage and stuff. In a sense, it almost feels like you're babysitting, but you're not. You're just guiding them along. You're guiding them to keep the show running in the right process. So you're just putting some structure over the match, but you don't want to take away from. They let them be creatively who they are. They have ideas and what they want at the end, but throughout there, you tell people they got to do it this way, this way, this way. You start taking away from who they are as a talent and stuff like that. AEW, I don't know because I'm not there. From what I hear, you just pretty much the guys, the wrestlers are just putting their matches together. I don't know. I could be wrong. So I don't know. So I hope that answered. Who was it from?
I think it was Styles in Motion.
Styles in Motion. Hope that answered your question. A little vague on my end, but I can only give you from what I have in my experiences.
Okay. What major star in AEW do you think will or should join the WWE next? This is from Stephen Helms.
Join. So AEW built, somebody that came up and was built by AEW, not somebody that went from WWE or so just an AEW somebody. Well, I guess the easiest, the most common answer would probably be MJF, right? But because it's kind of a lock that he could go. I guess not. I don't know. I mean, I suppose. Should he? I don't know who should or who shouldn't. I can't. I don't know who should go or not go. AEW is still so young but they're still trying to figure stuff out. Like I had said earlier, that they have like new guys all the time on every hour and stuff like that. It just gets kind of confusing. So it's really hard. I don't know who should and shouldn't. I think Sammy Guevara, he's small, but I think he would do good in WWE because I don't know, he would suit it. But I don't know who should go because they're still building and they're still figuring things out. So, I mean, obviously, if you get let go and they don't renew your contract, you should go if you can. But I don't know if that's going to be the question. I don't know if that'll be the case of the scenario. So I don't know who should pack up and say, hey, my contract's up. Why AEW is trying to renew. I mean, we already seen Cody Rhodes go. So, I mean, anything else is anticlimactic after that. Like, everything's like, Cody Rhodes already went, and he went. So, not get any bigger than that right now. So, I mean, Jericho's already been there, unless it's a former person that's there and they go back. Cody Rhodes was a former person, but because he co-founded and he was such a part of AEW starting, that's probably the biggest thing, and that's already happened. So, I don't know who should go next. I mean, maybe MJF. I don't know. Did I tell you how happy I am about Edge and Damian Priest being a team?
You did.
Okay.
You mentioned it a couple times.
And Bobby Lashley winning.
Yes.
Yeah. Did I mean? Okay. Yeah. All right. Go ahead.
Jala the snake.
Who?
Jake the snake.
Jake.
This is your handwriting. So Jake the snake is one of my favorite wrestlers, but I feel he's not talked about enough anymore. Have you ever had any encounters with Jake the Snake?
Go ahead.
If so, did you learn anything from him? This is Curve Solo.
Did I learn things? Yes, I learned things from him that I could never say in public. That I'd probably be locked up for if they thought I even acted out upon these things. Like, what do you mean they don't talk about Jake? Jake's still in AEW, isn't he? Like, you're not using him as much at AEW, but he's still talked about. He's Jake the Snake. He was one of the best interviews there are, like match psychology. Sambodi picks so much up from Jake the Snake, and when you're taking Sambodi seminars, it's like taking a Jake the Snake seminar.
They're amazing.
So, I mean, that's just when I listen to Sambodi's words and stuff, but I hear a lot of Jake influence because he mentored under Jake. I had a lot of interactions with Jake. I mean, I use the Impaler DDT. I've asked his permission on that too. Like on shows when he's been on, hey, do you mind? And I do mind a certain way and all that. And he's like, you don't do it better than mine, so it doesn't matter, you know. So he was very intimidating. But what I've learned from Jake is I stayed with him a little bit in Puerto Rico. Spent a lot of time, not a lot of time, but time with him in Puerto Rico. We lived in the same place a little bit. Promos and stuff like that. All that promo stuff I tell you about. You know, carry the notebook. You hear a line from a movie, you write it down. You hear a line from a song, you write it down. A biblical line, something out of the Bible line. You take all these things and then you have these lines, you write them down because these lines somehow reached you and you connected with them. Whatever it was, that line caught your attention. So it's something you resonate with. It's something that you connected with somehow, right? So if you connected with that line, you got some kind of attachment to it that's organic and real. And then you take a promo, whatever your situation is, and you work it around that particular line, or you get that in there, whatever suits you and stuff like that. So, with promos, just a lot about promos. Even though I was terrible at promos, I've learned, it's in my head, and I pass that learning on from, just so you know, promos come from lyrics and songs and Bible verses, movie lines and stuff. The stuff that you connect with and you understand, so you take it and you make it your own within your promo and stuff like that. So he's just a genius. I think he's one of the best there ever was, and he's had his ups and downs. He is Jake the Snake, and big fan of him, his work, him as and who he is in his journey and where he is now. We've all hidden out in dark corners and stuff like that in our lives, and slithered out and seen the light and went back into the darkness. But he's crawled out and he's in the light and he's walking his path, man. I'm very happy for him. So, and I learned tons from him. So much, just life lessons, everything. Just so many little things. Just I could spend hours and hours and hours talking about him. But yeah, no, Jake's amazing, and he should be. I would use him as an agent. Like, maybe he is backstage in AEW. I don't know. I would use him. He's such knowledge and how to, like, but, you know, I just don't know, like, when I'm teaching at the school, how much it's a generational clash, you know, like, the younger kids are just programmed a different way, raised a different way. And sometimes when you're giving them opinions, like, oh, you go to Gio, you're really giving them something that you really think is going to help them and get them a little bit to where they want to be. And they just don't see it that way. And they're so quickly to
I don't know how he saw
pass a judgment. Yeah. I don't know. He's a complicated creature. But they all are. The whole world's complicated. It's, you know, just one day, one step, and one breath at a time, you know. But Jake... yeah, I think he should. Yeah, I'm sure they should talk about him more. But I don't think he's. I hear about him all the time. I mean, I still hear his name. But then again, I'm in the wrestling circles and stuff like that. So, but long live Jake the Snake. Long live Jake the Snake.
The last question. After this year's WrestleMania, how do you feel about it being 2 nights? This is from Nukes 302.
Yeah, 2 nights, a lot of wrestling. Like so when we went to go talk at first year, I had a meltdown because like I had to get Raymond to send me the matches so I can go down and I watch it. But man, it's just so much wrestling to retain.
Was last year 2 nights too?
No, I don't think so. Was it? Oh, Tampa. Yeah, Tampa. Was it 2 nights? It rained one day.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot, but they turn it into a big weekend. I guess it's like I mean, I don't know. Do you need 2 Super Bowls? 2 nights of Super Bowl? Like, you know, but they have so much talent, 2 rosters. It worked. I mean, I can't remember. Maybe I didn't watch the Tampa. I'm sure I did. I'm sure I watched it, but I can't remember what stood out. Bianca, she won the belt then too, right? I'm not sure.
Yeah,
and then lost it next pay per view with Becky Lynch. But
Roman, Edge, and Daniel Bryan.
Oh.
Yes, yeah, okay.
Okay, yeah. 2 nights is a lot, but it worked this year. I don't know. Good money and revenue for the talents in Dallas. There's a lot of positives in it, like revenue-wise for a lot of things. And it's a lot of wrestling, though. It's a lot of wrestling to retain. So then, because like this weekend, it was like NXT, SmackDown, NXT, Hall of Fame, WrestleMania, and then Raw. That's a lot of wrestling. That's a lot of wrestling. I'm not gonna say it's hard on the talent because damn it, they signed up to be wrestlers. Like the more they're in the ring and the more they're entertaining, they should be. The more their faces out there, the better they are. The better chance they have being a household name and a brand. So I'm not gonna say boo on that, but it's tough. It's a lot of wrestling. I prefer one night, but I don't think the 2 nights was bad this year.
No.
Yeah. So, okay. All right. So you done? You got anything else to say here? You've been really quiet. Feels like I've been doing all the talking today.
I'm just listening, going over WrestleMania predictions and what happened and stuff.
Okay. All right. So, all right, everybody. This was episode 44. We covered everything. Well, we tried to cover the 2 nights of WrestleMania, a tiny bit of Raw, Pandora's Box, some questions and whatnot. So, thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. If you're on Spotify, listening. If you're on YouTube and watching. Thank you. Want some?
Get some.
Bad enough?
Take some.
Thank you, guys. Catch you on 45.